Finally, the 2024-2025 NBA season has begun for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and to start their journey to an NBA championship season opener, they are tasked with traveling to Mile High City to take on Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. And going on the road as underdogs, the Oklahoma City Thunder on national television was able to go in and spoil the home opener for the Denver Nuggets. And watching this game, I was very impressed with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And we all know these guys are coming off one of the most historical seasons in NBA history, being the youngest team at their average age was 23.8 years old, being the youngest team in NBA history in either the Eastern or the Western Conference to be a number one seed, and also the youngest team in NBA history to win a playoff series. So we really just take all of this in. You think about we literally have never seen no group of guys this good at such a young age. And so when you take all of that into perspective, you think about a lot of these guys are nowhere near their mental prime, nowhere near their physical prime, and nowhere near their skill set prime. So you just bank on these guys coming into this year being even better than they were last season, and then also they add pieces like Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein. So I think the Oklahoma City Thunder, we've been saying this all season long, they just went into Denver and they won by double digits, and I think we're going to be saying this all season long. Oklahoma City Thunder, they're just going to be, excuse my French, but they're just going to be spanking on teams. We're going to look on some random night and they're going to be beating teams by 30, 40 points, and their starters are not going to be playing in the fourth quarter. But getting to this game, I was so impressed, and we just brought up the fact that they went into Denver and won by double digits. And what I realized about the Oklahoma City Thunder is that they were nowhere near full strength. And when I say that, I have a few different meanings to that. And I know it's the beginning of the season. A lot of teams aren't at full strength right now. But for the Oklahoma City Thunder to go out and perform like they just did, and they're not nowhere near full strength, I think it's a great sign for them. And one of the things that I'm alluding to, number one, is they just went into a game playing against the Denver Nuggets. Nikola Jokic, a lot of people consider him the best big in the NBA. They went into this game and didn't have none of their rotational backup bigs. They didn't have Jalen Williams, and they also didn't have Isaiah Hartenstein. And I don't know if Jalen Williams will be a part of the rotation if Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren is available. I think in the preseason I did see, they run double big, so we might see Jalen Williams and Isaiah Hartenstein on the court at the same time. But nonetheless, neither one of those guys were available tonight, and it let Chet Holmgren really playing against Nikola Jokic by himself tonight. And boy, did Chet Holmgren did an exceptional job. And I know it's just one game, but going against a team like that, going against a player like that, we can get a lot from one game. And Chet Holmgren, he's going to take a huge step this NBA season. And before we get into how masterful of a performance this was by Chet Holmgren, I just want to point out the fact of how wrong people were about the top of the 2022 NBA draft class. They were creating this narrative that draft class was deep, but at the top of the draft there were no players that could change a franchise or could be altering for a franchise. And I think they were wrong. We look at Paolo Banchero, we see how amazing he's been for the Orlando Magic. And now we look at Chet Holmgren, what he's done for the Oklahoma City Thunder, what he's done for them on both the offensive and the defensive side of the ball. With Chet Holmgren missing his rookie year, we saw the Oklahoma City Thunder, we saw them be very competitive that entire season, get to the play-in tournament where they ultimately came up short. And we were all saying, once Chet Holmgren gets into the mix, this is going to be a completely different ball club. And then his official first season, his rookie year, the Oklahoma City Thunder are the number one seed in the Western Conference, and he played a huge role in that. And now here we are in his second year in the NBA, and it looks like he's gotten even better. Let me read you his stat line from last night against the Denver Nuggets. He goes for 25 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, He also knocked down 4 3-pointers. He had 2 steals, and he also had 4 blocks. Now, I don't play fantasy basketball, but I do gamble. I do bet on player props, and I'm so sick that I did not take anything from Chet Holmgren tonight because he put on a very, very masterful performance. And this performance is impressive on so many different levels. We alluding to it being no backup big for the Oklahoma City Thunder on this night, and then going against Nikola Jokic, who's a back-to-the-basket player. He's going to post you down every single possession, and then also he's an elite playmaker. So you have your hands full on the defensive side of the ball, and for Chet Holmgren to be able to stay that focused throughout the entirety of the game, to where he had a great performance on the defensive side of the ball, but also a great performance on the offensive side of the ball, it just speaks volumes of how great of a basketball player that he is becoming. But this was a night where Chet Holmgren, and last year in his rookie season, when he faced the Nikola Jokic, he played really well against Nikola Jokic, but he never outshined him. Tonight, he goes into his palace, he goes into his home court, and he looked like the best player out there. Chet Holmgren, if they do game balls in the NBA like they do in the NFL, I would give it to Chet Holmgren because he was spectacular tonight. And on the offensive side of the ball, we seen him do damage from everywhere. We seen him scoring from all 3 levels. We seen him knocking down 3-point shots off the catch. We seen him putting the basketball on the floor, getting downhill, finishing around the rim. Drawing in the defense. He had 5 assists, setting up his teammates, and then also he looked really elite in the 2-man game with gilgeous-alexander. He caught a few passes from him where he was able to get some dunks at the rim. And I think the play of the game for the Oklahoma City Thunder and for Chet Holmgren is when Chet Holmgren, this was around, I want to say the third quarter, maybe 6-7 minutes left, he got the block on Nikola Jokic, and then it turned into a fast break situation. Shea Gilly found him in transition, and then he boomed it on Peyton Watson. So just a crazy sequence for Chet Holmgren. And now the Oklahoma City Thunder, they have another way of winning, and another way of winning is just Chet Holmgren being individually better than everybody else out on the basketball court. So that is a great thing to have. And getting back to the topic of our video of the Oklahoma City Thunder not being at full strength, I'm not just talking about the health of Isaiah Hartenstein and also the health of Jalen Williams, but also we look at the performance of the Oklahoma City Thunder. They did win this game in convincing fashion. They had some great individual performances from Chet Holmgren and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and also shout out to the way that they're playing defense. They do a great job of rotating and helping the helper, and then they have one of the best rim protectors in the NBA and Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren, I know we just talked about him, but one more thing, he is so good at protecting the rim. Last year, his block to foul ratio was just insane. But we also look at another team stat from the Oklahoma City Thunder. They only shot 22% from the 3-point line. And last year, they were one of the most efficient, or I think they were the #1 team in 3-point field goal percentage. So, and this is why I was just saying it's crazy to go into Denver against Nikola Jokic opening night on the road, national television. And I'm not saying that I still would have, like, if I was betting, I would have bet the Oklahoma City Thunder to win. But just the fashion that they won, the fashion that they won, I just think it was very, very impressive, and it just put a lot of things into perspective. Just imagine how good they're gonna be when they get Isaiah Hartenstein back, when they are in full rhythm when it comes to shooting the 3-point shot. We know it's the beginning of the season, things like that take a little bit longer to tune up. And then also when they get Isaiah Hartenstein and Alex Caruso fully acclimated to this squad, even though they're really plug in and play players, but still those little things that you gotta have with your teammates out on the basketball court that you can only get when you're playing with them. So when all of this falls into play, I think the Oklahoma City Thunder, I think they're going to be a very, very dangerous basketball club. Already more dangerous basketball club than what they are right now, which is very, very dangerous. So like we said earlier in the video, this could be a season for the Oklahoma City Thunder where if you're not a really good basketball team, they're gonna light you up, and they're not gonna be playing their starters in the fourth quarter. But what a great situation that they're in right now. They're probably like they're set up so nicely. They're probably going to be good. They're at least with this core right now. With this core right now that they have, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, Lou Dort, with all of these guys, they're going to be very super competitive, competing for championships for at least the next 4 years. And with all the draft picks that they have, the way that their salary situation is looking, they're going to be a great franchise for years to come. So I just wanted to get on here and talk about that. That win for the Oklahoma City Thunder was extremely impressive, and I think we can crown them the kings of the Western Conference. Once again, I'm calling it this early. I don't really need to see anything else, but that's what I wanted to talk about with you guys today. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment down below if you agree or disagree, and then subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man, and that's curtains.